First contact and deception. The Galactic Council's observation vessel hovered silently in Earth's exosphere, its advanced cloaking systems rendering it invisible to even the most sophisticated human detection systems, or so they believed. High Counselor Zarvex stood on the command deck, his 4 eyes narrowed as he studied the blue planet below. The reptilian official's scales shimmered under the ambient lighting as he turned to address his fellow council representatives. Remarkable that such a species has achieved rudimentary space travel, Zarvex said, gesturing toward the orbital stations and lunar base visible on their monitors. But they remain centuries behind even our most underdeveloped member worlds. Ambassador Tela, the blue-skinned diplomatic liaison, nodded in agreement. Their technological progression is consistent with a Class 4 civilization. They've barely left their own system, and yet they survived the Great Filter, noted Science Director Filion, the avian researcher whose species had joined the Council millennia ago. She fluttered her wings thoughtfully. That alone warrants our attention. For 3 standard cycles, the Council observation team had monitored Earth, cataloging its apparent capabilities, political structures, and military assets. The conclusion was unanimous. Humanity represented a potential future member species, but one still in its infancy compared to the galactic community. The Council's decision was made. Earth would be approached openly, diplomatic relations established, and humanity would be offered limited technological knowledge in exchange for resources and a position as a protectorate species. It was the standard protocol for emerging civilizations. Guide them slowly into the greater community under careful supervision. Secretary General Amara Chen stood at the United Nations podium, her posture betraying none of the tension that filled the General Assembly Hall. Behind her, on massive screens, the recorded message from the Galactic Council played for the 3rd time. First contact had come not with ships landing on the White House lawn, but with an elegant transmission explaining humanity's place in a vast interstellar community. The Council representatives will arrive in 14 days, Chen announced once the message concluded. They have requested a formal diplomatic reception with leaders from all major nations. Their stated goal is peaceful integration of Earth into the galactic community. The hall erupted with voices, fear, excitement, suspicion all mingling together. Chen raised her hand for silence. The Security Council has unanimously agreed to this meeting. However, she paused, her eyes scanning the assembly. We will proceed according to Protocol Omega. Those words, spoken casually to the public, carried tremendous weight for those who understood their meaning. Across the planet, in hidden facilities and secure communications channels, military and intelligence officials acknowledged the activation of humanity's oldest and most secret contingency plan. The diplomatic reception took place in Geneva, a neutral ground selected to showcase human cooperation. The alien delegation, comprised of 7 different species, towered over their human counterparts in the magnificent hall adorned with flags from all nations. High Counselor Zarvex performed the traditional greeting. We welcome Earth to the greater galactic community. Your species has demonstrated remarkable resilience and potential. Secretary General Chen bowed slightly. We are honored by your presence and hope to learn much from our more advanced cosmic neighbors. The subtle emphasis on advanced did not go unnoticed by General Malcolm Hayes, who stood at attention near the wall. His military uniform, adorned with medals from conflicts the public had never heard of, was deliberately outdated. Like everything else humanity was showing the Council, it was carefully crafted to project exactly the image Earth wanted to present. Over the following weeks, Earth's delegates shared seemingly open and transparent details about human technology, military capabilities, and resource reserves. Council representatives expressed polite interest, but clear superiority as they explained the benefits of becoming a protectorate species. Your fusion technology is impressive for a species at your development stage, Science Director Filion commented while touring a power facility. With our guidance, you could advance centuries within decades. Dr. Eliza Washington, the facility director, nodded with appropriate humility. We would be grateful for any assistance. Our energy needs constantly outpace our production capabilities. Neither mentioned the vast antimatter production facilities buried beneath the Antarctic ice sheet, nor the dark matter reactors powering humanity's deep space installations beyond Neptune. In the secure meeting room beneath the Alps, Hayes addressed the Global Defense Council, his expression grim. The intelligence is confirmed. The Drakmor Imperium has petitioned the Galactic Council for resource extraction rights to our system. The holographic display showed intercepted communications between the Council and the Imperium, a militant species known for their aggressive expansion. They believe we're defenseless, Admiral Cheng said, her voice cold. The Council's assessment of our capabilities has been forwarded to potential predators. Hayes nodded. As anticipated, the Council follows predictable patterns with emerging species. They identify the strong, who become allies, and the weak, who become vassals or resource farms. How long before the Imperium moves? Asked General Okafor. 3 months at most, Hayes replied. The Council has already indicated they will not intervene in what they consider a natural selection process for newer species. Those who cannot defend themselves do not survive. Secretary General Chen's hologram appeared at the head of the table. Then we proceed as planned. Continue the deception. Let them believe we are scrambling to prepare inadequate defenses. The room's atmosphere shifted from tension to cold determination. Humanity had prepared for this moment for over a century. Ambassador Tella watched with a mixture of pity and resignation as Earth's nations publicly debated defensive measures against the coming Drakmor fleet. Their primitive missile systems, rudimentary space forces, and atmospheric fighters would be no match for even a small Imperial battle group. They fight so desperately to prepare, she observed to Zarvex as they monitored global communications from their embassy. Should we not warn them more explicitly about the Imperium's capabilities? The High Counselor's secondary eyes blinked slowly. It would change nothing. The strong survive, Ambassador. It is the way of the cosmos. Earth will either demonstrate unexpected strength or become another footnote in galactic history. And the Council maintains neutrality, she recited, though her tone suggested personal disagreement. Precisely. We observe. We record. We welcome the victors. Zarvex turned away from the monitors. The Drakmor will arrive within 30 rotations. Prepare the observation vessels. The Drakmor fleet emerged from hyperspace with brutal efficiency. 50 warships arrayed in attack formation at the edge of the solar system. Their command ship, a massive dreadnought whose hull bore the scars of 100 conquered worlds, led the formation as they accelerated toward Earth. Admiral Vosker of the Imperium stood on his bridge, mandibles clicking in anticipation. Send the ultimatum. Standard terms for Class 4 primitives. The message transmitted to every communication device on Earth. Complete surrender, resource extraction rights for the Imperium, and limited human autonomy under Imperial governance. The alternative was extinction. Earth's response came 6 hours later. A worldwide broadcast of Secretary General Chen, flanked by leaders from every major nation. We have received your terms, she stated calmly. Humanity rejects them. We choose to defend our home. Admiral Vosker laughed, a sound like grinding stone. As they all do before the end. Begin the approach. Minimal defensive formation. Their weapons cannot harm our shields. The Drakmor fleet moved inward, past Neptune, then Uranus, encountering no resistance. Council observation ships followed at a distance, recording what they assumed would be a brief and one-sided conflict. Earth's orbital defense platforms, primitive railguns and missile launchers by galactic standards, began firing as the fleet approached Mars. The attacks dissipated harmlessly against Imperial shields. Their desperation is almost admirable, Vosker noted. Commence initial bombardment of military targets, standard subjugation protocol. The first volley of Imperial energy weapons streaked toward Earth, targeting what their scans identified as key defense installations. Minutes before impact, something unexpected happened. The missiles simply vanished. Report. Voskar demanded. Unknown defensive capability. His tactical officer responded, confusion evident. No energy signature detected, but our weapons disappeared. Before they could analyze further, Earth's seemingly primitive defense platforms suddenly transformed. Panels slid away, revealing systems that bore no resemblance to the technology Earth had demonstrated previously. On the Council observation vessel, alarms blared as their sensors detected massive energy buildups throughout the solar system. Impossible, Zarvex whispered as their readings showed technological signatures matching or exceeding Council capabilities. In the void between Mars and Earth, thousands of distortion fields suddenly winked into existence, revealing an armada that had remained perfectly hidden until this moment. Sleek vessels of unmistakably human design, but with technology the Council had never seen humans possess. On the bridge of the EDF Prometheus, General Hayes stood with his hands clasped behind his back as the holographic tactical display showed the Drakmor fleet's formation. "The charade ends today," he said quietly. "Commence operation revealing fire." Across the solar system, humanity's hidden defenses activated. The true face of Earth's military power was finally revealed, and the watching galaxy collectively held its breath. The revelation and new galactic order. Admiral Voskar of the Drakmor Imperium stared in disbelief as his tactical display transformed. Where moments before his fleet had faced minimal resistance, now thousands of human vessels materialized from seemingly empty space. Worse, their energy signatures exceeded anything his sensors could properly quantify. "Impossible," he hissed, mandibles clicking rapidly in agitation. "They are a Class 4 species. Their technology is primitive." His tactical officer's voice trembled. "Sir, we're detecting weapons locks from multiple vectors. Energy signatures are beyond our classification systems." On the Council observation vessel, High Counselor Zarvex watched with all four eyes widened in shock. Ambassador Tella stood frozen beside him, her blue skin paling to an almost ghostly white. "They deceived us," Zarvex whispered, "completely and deliberately." Science Director Fillion frantically analyzed the incoming data. "These aren't copied technologies or recent acquisitions. The design architecture is uniquely human, but developed to a level that should have taken them centuries more to achieve." The first volley from Earth's hidden fleet answered any lingering doubts about humanity's capabilities. Beams of concentrated energy, not the crude plasma weapons the Drakmor had expected, sliced through the shields of 3 Imperial cruisers as if they were made of paper. The vessels didn't explode. They simply came apart in precise segments, power cores safely contained rather than detonated. "Precision strikes," Tella noted in awe. "They could destroy those ships, but they're deliberately disabling them with minimal casualties." Across the solar system, previously hidden installations revealed themselves. Massive defensive arrays emerged from the surfaces of moons and asteroids. Facing technology, thought to be theoretical even by Council standards, allowed humanity's true military might to step out of the dimensional shadows where it had been concealed. On the bridge of the EDF Prometheus, General Hayes watched calmly as the Drakmor fleet scattered, their tight formation dissolving into chaos. His executive officer approached with a data tablet. "The Imperium is attempting to regroup at these coordinates," Commander Rodriguez reported. "Their weapons are powering up for a desperate counterattack." Hayes nodded. "Deploy the Aegis grid. Targeted system shutdown only." Throughout the solar system, small autonomous platforms activated, releasing waves of subspace particles that washed over the Drakmor vessels. One by one, their systems went dark: weapons, propulsion, communications, leaving them drifting and defenseless, but with life support intact. "Transmission from the Drakmor flagship," Rodriguez announced. "Admiral Voskar is requesting terms." A thin smile crossed Hayes' face. How quickly the tables turn. "Put him through." The holographic image of Voskar appeared, his proud bearing now replaced with barely contained fury. "You concealed your true capabilities. This violates all protocols of the Galactic Council. We concealed nothing, Hayes replied evenly. We simply didn't volunteer information you didn't directly ask for. Your assumptions about our civilization were your own. Impossible, Voskar spat. A species cannot hide its development level from Council observation. Can't it? Hayes raised an eyebrow. Your terms are rejected. Here are ours. Your fleet will depart this system immediately. The Imperium will recognize Earth's sovereignty and our territorial claim to this solar system. Any future aggression will be met with significantly less restraint than we've shown today. Voskar's mandibles twitched with fury, but even he could recognize an unwinnable situation. The Imperium withdraws, for now, but the Council will not allow this deception to stand. We look forward to those discussions, Hayes replied before terminating the connection. Commander Rodriguez looked at her superior. The Council observation vessel is requesting direct communication. I imagine they have questions, Hayes said. Patch them through to the Secretary General. It's time for some honest diplomacy. In the Grand Conference Chamber beneath Geneva, Secretary General Chen sat at the head of a massive obsidian table, flanked by the leaders of Earth's Unified Defense Council. Across from them, the Galactic Council delegation appeared visibly shaken, their previous condescension replaced by wary respect. You deliberately misled the Council about your technological capabilities. High Counselor Zarvex began, his tone carefully neutral. This is unprecedented. Chen's expression remained impassive. We shared exactly what we wanted you to see. Your Council made assumptions based on incomplete information, a dangerous practice in both diplomacy and intelligence gathering. But why? Ambassador Tella asked, genuine confusion in her voice. The Council approaches all new species with peaceful intentions. Dr. Eliza Washington, now revealed as the director of Earth's Advanced Technology Division, leaned forward. Does it? Your first act was to classify us according to your predetermined categories. Your second was to decide our fate without our input. When the Drakmor petitioned to strip mine our world, you chose non-intervention. Zarvex shifted uncomfortably. The Council maintains neutrality in conflicts between sovereign powers, a convenient policy that ensures only the strong survive. General Hayes added from his position, standing behind Chen. We studied your history thoroughly. Species that appear weak become resource providers. Those that demonstrate strength become equals. We simply ensured we would be seen as the latter. But how? Science Director Fillion couldn't contain her academic curiosity. Your technological signature was consistent with early spacefaring development. Our most sensitive instruments detected nothing of these capabilities. Washington smiled. Phase shift technology, dimensional folding, quantum camouflage. We've been developing these technologies since we first detected signals from beyond our solar system over a century ago. Before you even knew we existed, Chen added, humanity made a collective decision. We would prepare for the worst while hoping for the best. Our history taught us that first contacts between civilizations with power imbalances rarely end well for the less advanced society. Your unified deception suggests your species has no internal conflicts, Zarvex observed. This contradicts our observations of your political divisions. For the first time, Chen smiled genuinely. Our political disagreements are real. Our nations compete. Our ideologies clash. But beneath those surface tensions, we have maintained absolute unity on one principle. Humanity's survival is non-negotiable. In a classified session of the full Galactic Council, the representatives debated the unprecedented situation. The chamber, a vast amphitheater orbiting a neutral star system, buzzed with agitated conversations in dozens of languages. This changes everything, declared Councillor Mexteri of the Pellerin Federation. If the humans could conceal such advanced technology, what else might they be hiding? More importantly, interjected Councillor Vrock of the Sentient Collective, how many other primitive species might be employing similar deceptions? High Counselor Zarvex raised his hand for silence. The humans have requested full diplomatic recognition, and a seat on this council. By any objective measure of their technology, they qualify. The question before us is whether their deliberate deception disqualifies them. Ambassador Tella, who had spent the most time with humans, addressed the assembly. I believe we should consider why they chose deception. Their historical records show a pattern of more advanced civilizations exploiting less developed ones. They acted from caution, not malice. Their technology is remarkable, Science Director Fillion added. Their phase shift capabilities alone represent a significant advancement even by our standards, and they demonstrated remarkable restraint in neutralizing the Drakmor fleet without casualties. The debate continued for days, with factions forming around different perspectives. Some council members saw humanity as a dangerous wild card. Others recognized potential valuable allies. The Drakmor Imperium's representatives demanded sanctions against Earth for dishonorable warfare, though their own intended conquest received little sympathy. 3 months later, Secretary General Chen stood in the central podium of the Galactic Council chamber. Behind her, Earth was displayed on the massive viewing screen, no longer a primitive curiosity but recognized as home to one of the most technologically advanced species in known space. Humanity accepts membership in the Galactic Council with humility and determination, Chen began. We understand that trust must be rebuilt. Our deception, while strategic, has created understandable concerns. She gestured to the diplomatic delegation seated behind her, scientists, military leaders, and cultural ambassadors from every continent on Earth. We offer full technological exchange with the Council, including our phase shift capabilities and quantum camouflage systems. In return, we ask only for what every civilization deserves: respect for our sovereignty and recognition of our right to exist without threat. The Council chamber remained silent as Chen continued. Our history taught us caution. When we first detected transmissions from beyond our system, we discovered communications discussing the resource potential of inhabited worlds. We learned of the Drakmor and other expansionist powers. We chose to hide our light rather than draw the attention of predators. Zarvex, now acting as moderator rather than superior, nodded slowly, a precaution that proved wise, given recent events. But deception cannot be the foundation of lasting peace, Chen acknowledged. Today marks the beginning of true diplomatic relations, not as patron and client, not as advanced and primitive, but as equals. In the Earth Embassy established in the Council's diplomatic sector, General Hayes stood before a wall of windows overlooking the vast diplomatic complex. Ambassador Tella joined him, her curiosity evident. "Your species continues to surprise us," she said. "Most newly recognized powers would flaunt their capabilities, yet you remain modest even now." Hayes turned to her, his expression thoughtful. "The revelation of our military technology was necessary, but it wasn't our goal. Earth's true strength isn't in our weapons." "No?" Tella asked. "Our strength is our diversity, our adaptability, our relentless creativity," Hayes explained. "We revealed our military capabilities because we had to. But our scientists, our artists, our philosophers, they are Earth's true gift to the galaxy." Tella considered this. The Council is still adapting to the recategorization of humanity. Some members remain wary. "As they should be," Hayes said with unexpected candor. "Healthy caution is the foundation of lasting peace. We don't ask for blind trust, only the opportunity to earn it." On screens throughout the embassy, reports showed the first tentative cultural exchanges beginning. Human art being displayed in council galleries, scientific conferences where Earth's researchers shared insights with alien counterparts, trade negotiations opening between Earth and a dozen different worlds. "There's a saying on Earth," Hayes continued. "The best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is now. We concealed our strength because we had to. Now we choose to show our wisdom." Outside, the galactic center shimmered with the light of 1,000 stars. A community humanity was finally joining on its own terms, not as supplicants but as equals. The deception was over. The true exchange could begin. On Earth, hidden facilities that had once manufactured weapons now retooled for peaceful exploration. The shipyards orbiting Jupiter expanded, constructing vessels designed not for war, but for discovery. Humanity's long isolation was ending, and the galaxy would never be the same.